This is Fieldsports Channel News. Basques instructing lawyers to seek a judicial review of DEFRA's mishandling of gamebird release. DEFRA is underestimating the number of shoots hit by its decision to restrict gamebird release in areas of England which Basque wants reversed. DEFRA has put gamebird release on the hated general licences and says that it can't take place within 500 metres of Europe-designated special areas of conservation without an individual licence. Basque says DEFRA is telling MPs and senior government figures that the change will hit only 40 shoots. However, Basque says the figure is many times higher. In North Yorkshire alone, more than 100 shoots will be affected by the change, with the figure for the east of England thought to be as high as several hundred. As the main gamebird releasing period approaches, Basque accuses DEFRA of throwing shoots into chaos.
I'm in London, having just come from a ministerial meeting at DEFRA. My aim was to get General Licence 43 reintroduced across the board. The current restrictions introduced, no consultation at the last minute, are going to devastate many lives, communities and our members' interests. It would appear at the moment that it's unlikely that we're going to get what we need, and so BASC is of the view that we have absolutely no option but to launch legal proceedings using our formidable fighting fund in order to do so. And we'll be issuing the relevant paperwork to the government, DEFRA and Natural England as soon as we possibly can.
Firearms inquiries officers could have new training. It follows the inquiry into the 2021 Plymouth shootings. The Chief Constable responsible for changes to firearms licensing plans to bring in a national training programme in 2024. National Police Chiefs Council Firearms Licensing Lead Debbie Tedds said previous attempts to introduce national training have failed. Firefighters say a wildfire in Scotland could be the largest ever recorded in the UK. The Scottish Fire and Rescue Service says flames burned 30 square miles of scrub and woodland near Cannock in the Highlands. Locals accuse the RSPB of creating a death trap for rare birds at its Coromony Nature Reserve, half of which burned, taking with it black grouse broods. The RSPB planted trees there without sufficient fire breaks to stop the blaze. Crews fought fires in 4 separate areas. NASA satellites photographed the 12-mile plume of smoke. The fire service thanked the Scottish Gamekeepers Association and RSPB staff for their help in fighting the fire. Staying with fire, and the Countryside Alliance in Scotland says that a new bill which aims to restrict Muir burn could lead to more devastating fires. The Wildfire Management and Muir Burn Scotland Bill is being debated in the Scottish Parliament. It seeks to restrict the use of Muir burning on peatlands. The Scottish Gamekeepers Association says Muir burning can prevent wildfires and lessen the intensity of blazes. It says the bill is short-sighted.
Muir burn tends to be the least favoured option for the Scottish Government. Now, we know that there are some inaccessible areas where we're just not able to flail or swipe, and in any case these practices tend to produce tinder, which dries and is ideal for either starting or spreading wildfires. But if the Scottish Government don't get this right, there's a real risk that they will undermine both the wildlife and wildfire management in Scotland.
More fires, and in England firefighters have been tackling a second blaze on Marsden Moor. West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service used a helicopter to put out the smouldering flames at the Marsden Moor estate at Binmore and Hind Hill. The National Trust, which owns Marsden Moor, bans Muir burning on its land. Top British trap shooter Abby Ling is fundraising to pay for her trip with Team GB to the Olympics. The 36-year-old from Somerset, who has 2 children, has set up a GoFundMe page. A Commonwealth Games silver medalist and Fieldsports Channel contributor, Abby's next qualifying event is in Italy in July. She's hoping to raise £10,000 to get her to Paris 2024. Link below. There's a new attack on shooting sports from Scotland's Planning Department. Amendments to the Town and Country Planning Scotland Act aim to make it compulsory for all target shooting in Scotland to have planning permission. This could bring about the end of the free pass for rifle ranges used fewer than 28 days a year. The proposed rules would apply to full bore and small bore rifle shoots and practical shotgunning. They exclude air guns, cadet shooting events, game shooting, clay pigeon shooting and paintball. You can respond to a consultation on this, which runs until Wednesday the 23rd of August 2023. Link below. Thanks to Martin Phipps for the story. A major new report savages attempts by the Westminster government to ban trophy imports. Scientists, African conservationists and community leaders say the UK's hunting trophies import prohibition bill will negatively affect trophy hunting in Africa, and the continent's natural environment and animal conservation will suffer too. Conservative MP Henry Smith introduced a private member's bill which passed the Commons in March and is now in the House of Lords. It picked up backing from the government along the way. The report points to the hypocrisy in the bill, as the UK exports thousands of deer stalking hunting trophies itself every year and has no plans to abolish the practice domestically. Meanwhile, the government of Botswana has written to the German government condemning similar plans by the ruling Green and Social Democrats parties. Southern African community leaders are calling out a false report issued by Antis. The report claims that hunting is threatening Botswana's wildlife. However, the leaders point out that Botswana has too many elephants and its communities benefit financially from hunting. Communities receive more than $2 million a year in revenue. And finally, a Fieldsports Nation member has shot an unusual Roebuck. Rod Entwistle shot the Peruke Roebuck in Berwickshire in May. He says the animal was no more than a week away from dying from its fly-blown antlers.
I was delighted to be able to take it out, and also extremely grateful to have a memory of a lifetime.
You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.